So good morning, my dear students. So is it appearing my screen to all?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So where were we here? Last class. This is the one. Okay. So in previous class, what we discussed, we started about the design of shaft. Okay. So design of shaft, mainly the shaft is going to subjected to these stresses what I mentioned here. One is because of the continuous transmission of the continuous application of the tangential forces, the resultant torque will be generated. Okay, this one we discussed in last class. So because of this run, this is the reason shear stress is going to generate. So shear stress is nothing but this is the one cause of failure for the shaft. And because of the shaft is subjected to the some mountings. Mountings is nothing but like gears, pulley, flywheel. Okay, such kind of things are mounting on the shaft. So because of this reason, the shaft is going to bend. So bending failure. Okay, and in some situation, combination of these two also will rise. So in last class, I have asked one question where we can find the pure bending, where we can find the pure torsion. So somebody replied for pure torsion propeller shaft. Okay, propeller shaft, marine turbine, marine propeller shaft, we can find there pure torsion. Okay, propeller shaft where it is located in the automobile system. Do you know anyone? Propeller shaft. Propeller shaft. So where it is located in automobile system? Anybody? So see here, just I want to show that one propeller shaft. So this is the one. See for the engine below the vehicle to transmit the power from the engine to rear axle. This is the propeller. Okay. So this shaft is always subjected to the torsion because from the engine always generating the power that is in terms of torque. Okay. So the torque is always carried by this propeller shaft. Okay. So this one. This is another open for diagram. Okay. This propeller shaft. This is the one always subjected to the torque. Okay. And for the marine application also, whatever the shaft we are using, that is also always subjected to the pure torsion. And pure bending, where we can find pure bending, whatever the car axles or lorry, our four-wheelers, whatever the axles, if you are seeing outside in practically, that all are subjected to pure bending. Okay. And combination of these two, where we can find combination means torsion as well as a bending. These two, where we can find these two, where we can find this one in a gear transmission box. So in gear transmission box, always gears are rotating. Okay, always gears are rotating as well as the shaft is carrying the gear. So because of carrying the gear, it is chance of bending, and because power is transmitting in gearbox, what happening? Power is going to always transmitting. Okay, so because of that reason, this is such kind of example combination of the torsion and as well as bending. So this was we discussed in the last class. So now next one is the maximum permissible working stresses for the transmission shaft. Maximum permissible is nothing but working stresses here. Okay, working stresses are design stresses. This is nothing but permissible working stresses, nothing but design stress. So in first unit we studied allowable stress, design stress, working stress. Okay, that one is this is the one maximum working stress for the transmission shaft. Okay, Now, according to the American Society of Mechanical Engineering, this is the one society. So they already decided how much working stress we need to maintain. What is the allowable stresses? Okay. So this is the first one. 112 megapascal. This is the 112 megapascal permissible stress. Permissible stress value 112 megapascal. This is the value for without keyway. This is the value without keyway. Remember this value when the question is asking while solving the problems. The question is asking design a shaft without keyway. Such kind of statement if you find, okay, if you find design the shaft without keyway, at that situation the permissible value, permissible maximum stress we can consider as 112 megapascal. If in case keyways are providing on the shaft, in case the keyways are providing, the permissible stress value is 84 megapascal. 84 megapascal. Okay. Now for the shaft purchased under the definite physical specification, okay, you're selecting the one definite shaft, then the permissible values are taken. Your statement given 60% of the elastic limit in tensile, 60% of the elastic limit in tensile, okay, but not more than the 36% of the ultimate tensile strength. So that is here maximum permissible stress is 0.6 per 60%, 0.6 endurance elastic limit in tensile, okay, or 0.36 means 36% of ultimate tensile strength. So while calculating both the values in problem solving, first you need to calculate this one, then calculate this one. Whichever is gives the less value, that when we need to check. It means always this permissible value less than these two things. Okay. So see here, one thing you need to observe here. Without keyway 112 megapascal, with keyway 84 megapascal. Why is the difference? Because when we created the keyway on a shaft, so here I'm drawing here. This is the shaft. Here one slot is provided for the keyway. Slot is for keyway. Okay. So see here, without slot means it is fully solid shaft. There is no breakage. At that time, what happened? There may be somewhat allowable stress will be more. There will be whatever the allowable stresses, whatever the stresses we are designing, that will be more because there is no breakage. There is no discontinuity of the material. If you provide the slot or groove to accommodate the key here, what happened? The stress concentration will going to rise here. The stress concentration is going to rise here like this. Okay. So because of this reason, what happened? The permissible value will going to decrease. The permissible value will going to decrease. How much it is? ASME decided as a 84 megapascal. But this value you should remember 112 megapascal, 84 megapascal. Okay. Without key, with key. Without key, with key. These two values you need to remember, as well as this one also you need to remember. Okay. These values are helpful while solving the problem. Okay. Now the second one is this is a direct loading, and because when the shaft is subjecting to the torsion, there is a permissible values, same like what we calculated here for direct loading. Here torsion loading. So torsion loading is maximum permissible shear stress. See here, maximum permissible shear stress. Okay. So for this, without keyway 56 megapascal. Without keyway 56 megapascal. With keyway 42 megapascal. These two values are the maximum permissible shear stress. The previous was, this is the maximum permissible working stresses. Working nothing but direct loading, direct stresses. Okay. So these direct loading nothing but because of direct axial, direct tensile load, direct compressive load, whatever the loads are there, all are related to the direct loading here. Okay. Now this is the one torsion. Because of the tangential forces applying, shear stress is going to generate it. So that reason, this is the one of the maximum permissible shear stress for the shaft without keyway, and this is the with keyway 42 megapascal. Now it is also having some limits. Shear stress, maximum shear stress is 30% of elastic limit in tension. Elastic limit in tension, or 18% of ultimate tensile strength. So calculate separately these two things, and whichever we will get the lesser value, that one we need to select. Okay. So this is the theory about the permissible working stresses. So whatever the values I written here, these values very important while solving the problem. Remember these values. Okay. Now design of shaft. So in this only, if you perfect with this topic, design of shaft, easily you can get the 16 marks in examination. Design of shaft. This is a very important topic. Whatever the previous topics we discussed, those are all comes under the 2 marks short answer question. Okay. And whatever the long answer question you can expect from this topic, design of shaft. Okay. Let me check, is it recording or not? Okay, it is recording. Design of shaft. See here. Here the shaft is going to design based on the two criteria. First one is the strength criteria. Second one is the rigidity and stiffness criteria. Broadly, the design of shaft is going to design based on the two criteria. First one is the strength wise. Second one is the rigidity and stiffness wise. Based on these two criteria only, the shaft is going to design. Remember this one, this point. Okay. Now first one, based on the strength wise. Okay. Shaft is subject to the only twisting movement. The shaft is subjecting to the twisting movement. It is nothing but torque only applied, and the shaft is subjecting to the only pure bending, and shaft is subjected to the combination of twisting and as well as the bending movement. Okay. And the fourth one is additional to this combination, one axial load is going to apply. Additionally to the combination here, combination is mentioned here. So additional to this combination, one axial load is going to apply. Axial load in addition to the combination torsion and bending stresses. So these four categories are comes under the strength wise. Design is based on the strength. Okay, these four comes under the strength category. Okay. So see here, strength category means already you have awareness that this equation T by J is equal to shear stress by R C theta by L. Okay. Now bending moment equation M by I, bending stress by Y, E by R. Okay. So this, from this equation, if you take the first two equations, these two equations are designed based on the strength criteria. These two, whatever the boxes I make it boxes here, so based on the strength criteria. Okay. Now from here, from this equation, T by J equals C theta by L. This is designed based on the rigidity and stiffness. This, if we equate these two equations, So design is nothing but design is based on the rigidity and stiffness. Okay, if you perfect with this, nothing but with this line, if you perfect strength criteria and rigidity criteria, easily you can overcome the problems. Okay, now one by one if we go through the topics. Shaft is subjected to twisting moment. I will take new slide. Okay, now first one. What is the first one here? What is the first one? Design of shaft. Design of shaft based on pure torsion. Okay, pure torsion. So pure torsion, because of torsion I am mentioning here. Okay, this equation I am taking T by J equal shear stress by R C theta by L. So this equation I am taking to design the shaft based on the torsion. Okay. Now from this equation, P by J shear stress by R. So this derivation may be asked for the 5 marks or 4 marks. Okay. So that reason I am explaining. So where T is nothing but twisting moment or torque in Newton meter or Newton mm. Okay, and J is the polar momentum of inertia. Polar momentum of inertia. So we are designing the shaft. Okay, we are designing the shaft. So we are considering here shaft having the circular cross section. Shaft having circular cross section. Okay, circular cross section. Now what is the polar momentum of inertia for the circular cross section? 5 by 32. 5 by 32 how much? D power 4. Okay. Now tell me, if the shaft is having the square cross section, what is the equation? What is the polar momentum of inertia? Anybody? Please respond. This polar momentum of inertia already you completed in the engineering mechanics subject and strength of material subject also. You should have the remembrance. Polar momentum of inertia for the square cross section. Anybody? Please respond my question. Do you know or don't know? If you don't know, then I will tell, because these equations are very important. Without equation, you can't solve the problem. Polar momentum of inertia for the square. How much? Nobody responding. It is a power 4 by 6. Okay, for the square. Now tell me the same for the triangle. Anybody? For the triangle. Are you there or not? Nobody responding.
Sir.
73 people are there. If you know the answer, tell me the answer. Otherwise, sir, we don't know. Tell me the answer. I will tell you.
Don't know, sir.
These relations are very important, Babu. Without this knowing this equation, you can't solve the problem. For the triangle is square root 3, how much? 40, 48, 48 for a power 4. A is the one side here. Okay, A represents the side. Okay. So this is all the equations, polar momentum of inertia. Okay. Now sigma s is the shear stress due to torsional okay, Newton per mm square. Units also I'm writing mm per Newton per mm square or Pascal. Okay, I will send over. Somebody asked. Okay, I will send. Okay, and r is the distance from the neutral axis to the outermost layer. Suppose this is the shaft. Okay, this is the shaft. This is the neutral axis or central axis. Now this one represents the r. This is the distance between the neutral axis to outermost layer. That is the r. Okay, distance between neutral axis to outer layer in mm. This terminology also very important, Babu. You know the notations, but you don't know the meaning means. Don't know the meaning means waste of. Okay, so this terminology also very important, so that's the reason I written here. Okay, now substitute. We are designing the shaft having the circular cross section. Substitute the all values here. T by 5 by 32 power 4 equal shear stress. So R I can write as a d by 2. R I can write as a d by 2. Okay, so here d by 2. Now from this T equal 5 by 16 sigma s, okay, into dk. This equation already you know, torque transmitted by the shaft, solid shaft. Okay, torque transmitted by the solid shaft 5 by 16 into sigma s into dq. Sigma s is the shear stress due to torsion, d is the diameter of the shaft, okay, and t is the torque transmitted by the shaft. Okay, now consider this as the first equation. Now if the shaft is hollow section, if the shaft is hollow cross section, it means it is having the circular with hollow portion. There is no material at the middle of the shaft. Okay, so this one outer diameter d naught and this one is the inner diameter di. Okay, now at this time, what is polar momentum of inertia for this kind of section? Polar momentum of inertia pi by 32 into d naught power 4 minus di power 4. Okay, mm power 4, its units mm power 4 or meter power 4. Remember units also. Everything whatever I'm writing here, everything is important and every line is very important. Okay, now if the shaft is having the hollow portion, now apply the equation in the first equation, torque equation. Pi by 32 means pi by 32 into d naught power 4 minus di power 4 power 4 shear stress by d naught by 2. Why I'm writing that r in place of r d naught by 2? This is the neutral axis here. Okay, so from the neutral axis to outermost layer, that represents the r. That represents the r. R nothing but here d naught by 2. R nothing but d naught by 2. Now what we'll get? Torque transmitted by the shaft is pi by 16 into sigma s into d naught power 4 minus di power 4 by d naught. Okay, now from this equation, pi by 16 into sigma s d naught power 4 by d naught, if you make it outside, minus di power 4 by d naught power 4. Okay, now pi by 16 into sigma s into d naught cube into 1 minus k power 4. Okay, where k is the ratio factor, where k is the ratio factor as di by d naught. K is the ratio factor di by d naught. Okay, now the equation is pi by 16 into sigma s into d naught cube into 1 minus k power 4. This is the another equation. This is the another equation. Okay, another equation. Now notice if we make the strength wise, first equation for the solid, second equation for the hollow. Strength wise, equating the first equation and second equation. What was the first equation? Pi by 16 into sigma s into d cube. Here pi by 16 into sigma s into d naught cube 1 minus k power 4. Okay, so d cube equal d naught cube 1 minus k power 4. This is the relation used to calculate while comparing the strength wise, which one is, while calculating the which one is having the larger strength, higher strength. Okay, at this situation, which diameter is going to having the larger one and which diameter is having the less in cross sectional area, that we are going to compare with this equation. That we are going to compare, means diameters are going to, we are going to comparing here in the third equation. Okay, and power transmitted by the shaft is power equation is 2 pi nt by 60. This equation already you know. This equation you occurred in the engineering mechanics. Okay. So the units for the power is watts. Okay. Now from the equation, torque can be calculated P into 60 by 2 pi n. Okay, by 2 pi n. This equation, see this 2 pi n by 60. 2 pi n by 60 also we can write as omega into t. What is omega? What is omega? Already studied in the engineering mechanics. Omega. B is the linear velocity meter per second. A is the linear acceleration meter per second square. What is omega? What is alpha? Alpha, do you know alpha? What is alpha? How are you playing? Simply listening the class. Omega is nothing but angular velocity.
Angular velocity,
Okay.
sir.
What is the units? What is the units for angular velocity? What is
Radian
alpha?
second.
Radian per second. What is alpha? Angular acceleration. Okay. So whatever the lines I written here and whatever the boxes I made here, that all are important. Okay. And once go through the equations, polar momentum of inertia equations. Okay. Already you have studied in the engineering mechanics as well as in the strength of material also you studied. Go through. This is the equation solved. Okay. Now see here. One more thing I forget here. Now power we can calculate with this equation. Suppose the question is given with the help of belt transmission system. With the help of belt transmission system. At that time, how to calculate the torque? Already I explained for the A section people, torque transmitted by the belt or power transmitted by the belt. Okay, power transmitted by the belt having the two sections. What are those? Tight side and slack side. Tight side and slack side. Okay, at this time, what is power transmitted by the shaft? Power transmitted by the shaft is what? So when you don't know the equation, what is the power units? Watts. Like this you need to remember. Okay, watts means nothing but joules per second. Joules is nothing but Newton meter per second. Newton is nothing but force. Meter per second nothing but velocity. Force into velocity will give the power, isn't it? What is force again here? Anybody? What is the force here? How to calculate the force? Nobody don't know. And another way to calculate the power is the units is watts. Watts is nothing but joule per second. That is Newton meter per second. Newton meter is nothing but torque per second. Per second, where we can find the torque. Newton meter is a torque here. Per second, where we can find T is the Newton meter because tight side and slack side T1 minus T2 into R. T1 minus T2 into R. That is the torque we are calculating. From this, power is torque into velocity. Power, how can we calculate? Okay, power is torque we can calculate like this, and this torque is going to substitute here. My relation I forgot there. Okay, I will tell later how to calculate from this relation power. Okay. Now this was the whatever the previous we calculated. Shaft is subject into pure torsion. Okay. Now shaft is subject into the second category. Shaft is subject into pure bending. Pure bending. Pure bending. Okay. So these two represents the reactions when the shaft is having the two ends, two wheels. Okay. And this middle load is nothing but weight of the vehicle acting like this. Okay. So at this time, because pure bending moment equal bending stress by y e by r. Okay. Now, because I'm taking consideration strength criteria, m by I stress by y I'm taking, where m is bending moment, where is bending moment, that is load into distance. Okay, this equation always going to vary. If you in case this is the cantilever, if you in case simply supported beam, that will going to different. Okay, this moment value equation is going to change as per the diagram whatever the given in the question. It is not always like a W and L. Okay, Newton meter mm, and I is the moment of inertia. I is the moment of inertia or area moment of inertia. What is the units here? Mm power 4 or meter power 4. Now the shaft we are considering is a circular cross section. Circular cross section. What is the equation? Anybody? What is the equation? 5d power 4. Okay. Is it right? Again, nobody responding. Is it right or wrong? Whatever equation I written here. Okay. Now, what is the equation if it is having the square? What is the equation? Simple equations, Baba, I am asking. Not too much complicated. Already studied in the strength of material engineering mechanics. It is waste of time asking you. A power 4 by 12. If it is rectangle, BD cube by 12. Okay. So based on the cross-sectional area, you need to select the equation while solving the problem. If the problem is given as a diameter, it is having circular section, select this equation. If it is square, select this equation. If it is rectangle, select this one. If the triangle is there, what is that one? Anybody? Triangle. So be prepared with the equation. And y is the distance between the outermost layer to neutral axis. This is the distance between neutral axis to outermost layer. Okay, so this one I can write as a d by 2. Okay, this one I can write as a d by 2. Now substitute here m by pi by 64 into d power 4 sigma b by d by 2. Okay. Now from this, bending moment equal pi by 32, pi by 32, this one, 32, and this one is the 32. Pi by 32 into d cube into sigma b. This is the one equation. This is the one equation. Now, if in case the shaft is having the circular cross section, if in case the shaft is having the circular cross section with halo, circular cross section with halo. Okay, so this is the d naught by 2. This is the outer diameter d naught. This is the inner diameter di. Okay, so what is the equation now? Moment of inertia, area momentum of inertia, pi by 64 into d naught power 4 minus di power 4. Okay, substitute in this equation, m by I, pi by 64 into d naught power 4 di power 4 equals sigma b by here b naught by 2. Now what is the equation, bending moment equation here? 32. Okay, now pi by 32 into sigma b d naught power 4 minus di power 4 by d naught. Now this equation may be modified as 32 sigma b d naught power 4 by d naught. I'm taking d naught power 4 outside. 1 minus di power 4 by d naught power 4. Okay. Now this one is single cancel. Pi by 32 sigma b into d naught power 3 into 1 minus k power 4. K is the ratio factor. This is the next equation. Whatever I am deriving here, each line is very important. Okay. This is the another equation. Now, if you make 1 and 2 both are equal, equation 1, equation 2, strength wise they are making equal. So first equation what we get, pi by 32 into sigma b into d, how much d 32 into sigma b into d naught power 3 1 minus k power 4. So with this equation, what we can calculate, we can compare the diameter with strength point of view. Which one is the larger, which one is the less? Okay. Third equation. Okay. So this is the two derivations based on the strength criteria. Okay. So regarding today's topic, do you have any doubt? You can ask. Okay.